The NFL, there was a highlight from your favorite quarterback, Caleb Williams, over the weekend. They're calling this the most incredible throw in the history of May football. Here he is uncorking a bomb to Rome Odunze in stride. I mean, this is a tough throw. I mean, look at that.
You know what? Did you hear what the haters said?
What'd the haters say?
The haters are, why is he rolling out on a 7-on-7 drill? He can't stay in the pocket. And I'm like, when you have Josh Allen, or you have Mahomes or Justin Herbert, or you have Caleb Williams, you should have design rollouts. Like this idea that I want you to be very effective in the pocket. But Bo Nix, by the way, his legs are a big part of his success. You should have several plays in your playbook to roll out Josh Allen and Caleb Williams. So they're not sitting ducks in the pocket. There should be a ton of bootleg action. Sometimes they keep it, sometimes they hand it off. But this idea that, he's rolling out, well, that's part of his game. That's his horsepower. That's his secret sauce. Of course he can roll out and throw it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I actually wasn't even thinking about that at all. But ironically, I remember Bill Belichick in the preseason when Caleb was a rookie. Caleb made an unbelievable throw in a preseason game, and Belichick said that's great and all, but there was no reason for him to roll out there. Tom Brady has talked about that as well. I always reference that clip of Brady talking about the Packers game when Caleb left the pocket when he didn't need to, cut the field in half, and couldn't make a throw like that. So obviously, plays like this are unbelievable and amazing, and they help reinforce how special and great Caleb can be. Because at the end of the day, if you're truly going to be special, truly elite, next level, potentially an all-time great, you imagine you have to be able to make plays like this too. But for me with Caleb, it's never about those things. It's everything else, being able to run the offense at the highest level. Something I've consistently talked about again and again. Before I go any further, Chicago Bears fans, please don't forget to subscribe and watch the full video. When you do that, views go through the roof, subscribers go through the roof. It's not about chasing either one. It's about being able to create Bears content that people genuinely want to watch and discuss, so we can keep having the most unbiased, grounded, honest conversations about this team. It really makes a huge difference, and I'd really, really appreciate it. But why? Yeah, it's funny because I saw this play when it happened, I think Thursday or Friday, I forget which day, and I was actually meaning to make a Bears video, but I didn't. So this is perfect now. But again, these plays are great. These plays are awesome. But no one doubts that Caleb can make those plays. You can see the hype and energy around Caleb, they really want him to be the next big thing. They clearly want Caleb and the Bears. They saw how huge Mahomes is with the Chiefs, and that's a smaller market in Kansas City. If it's Caleb and the Bears, it seemingly takes over the universe. The amount of money, ratings, and views you would get with Caleb and the Bears compared to Mahomes and the Chiefs, it's not even close. That's the power of Chicago. That is the power of Chicago. The NFL wants that. The media wants that. So no matter what happens, good or bad, and I really mean though or bad, there is just going to be that constant hyper-focus on Chicago. We see that with the Eagles, and we don't see that as much with the Bills. To be clear, the Bills, Ravens, and others are still covered heavily, and Josh Allen and Lamar are still covered heavily. But not as much as Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, and it's not even close. It really isn't. And we see it with the Chiefs. So if you have Caleb and the Bears be great and special, with awesome highlight reels and great playoff performances and consistent greatness, you're combining that. You're bringing Patrick Mahomes to Philadelphia. You're replacing Jalen Hurts with Mahomes, and then everybody would get on board. So again, whether it's good or bad, that's the way it is. I pointed this out when I was making a Seahawks video and a Patriots video. We talk about the Eagles more than the Patriots. We talk about them more than the Seahawks, who just won the Super Bowl. We talk about the Bills and the Ravens more than the Seahawks. There are different levels to that. You can see it. Last year as a rookie, they wanted Caleb so badly. They wanted it so badly. We talked about every time they didn't win, every time something wasn't good, it was double, triple, quadruple down on it all. Then going into year 2 with Ben Johnson, at first, remember when people didn't think it would go well? You had people like Colin saying, this isn't working, they're going to have to use Bagent, it's over. And I was like, what are we talking about? Then that switch flipped, and it was back to being all in, all in, all in. You just know it, you feel it, you sense it. You can see it based on the coverage of the playoff games. That momentum is going to continue to push. When you start to feel it as a fan or even as someone in the media, you think, well, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Mahomes, it's kind of slowing down a little bit. Who's the next team? Who's the next quarterback? Who's the next that I can jump on, focus on, really build a foundation around? What's it going to be? Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. So if you could ask the NFL world, the media world, the people getting paid within the NFL infrastructure, if you could pick the next big team, the next big quarterback, who would it be? It's not Knicks and the Broncos. It's not Drake May and the Patriots. It's not Cam Ward and the Titans. It's not even, can we just get a few more great years of Mahomes and the Chiefs? Nope. It's Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. I think we're continuing to see that emphasized and doubled, tripled, quadrupled down. It's always fascinating to see. I called this out from the jump in 2024 when we started getting takes that as a rookie, Caleb would be an MVP candidate and get to the Super Bowl. I saw what that generated. I saw that conversation. I saw those takes literally go viral and become the talk of the town. That's the power. If someone said that about Cam Ward, it would be ridiculous, and they'd just move on, it would barely be covered. That's what I said back in 2024. When we saw Jaden Daniels have a really successful season, they still talked about Caleb Williams more than Jaden Daniels. They still talked about the Bears more than the Commanders, even though the Commanders were winning and the Bears weren't. I don't want to say we're reaching the peak of it, but we're reaching the peak of this first 3-year timeline of Caleb. And it's only going to get bigger. Win, lose, or draw, win, lose, or draw. I'm telling you right now, this IMG season, the amount of attention and hype, good or bad, is going to be so magnified on Caleb. So magnified. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you all think about the Bears and Caleb Williams? What do you think about a throw like that? Does it even mean anything to you at this point? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. Whether you agree with me or disagree, let's get into discussions, get into fights, but ultimately let's just have some fun. Please consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love seeing you be part of it. I want to build something we all genuinely feel connected to, something we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, it really helps with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.